Good evening, coaches. My name is Aaron Coughlin with the Glacier Football Clinics. I'd like to welcome all of you to tonight's webinar presented by Huddle Fundraising. We're honored tonight to have Coach Mike Kolakowski. He's the defensive coordinator at Mercer University. He's with us to speak on Firezone pressure with 3 deep and 2 deep coverage out of the 3-4 defense. Before we get started with the webinar, I want to go through a couple of quick messages with you guys. There are 2 options for audio in this webinar. Option 1 is your computer speakers. This option is the default, and most of you are probably already listening to us through your computer speakers. Option 2 is the telephone. To listen by the telephone, go to the webinar control panel, expand the audio portion of it, and click on the telephone radio button. Then dial the number shown and enter the access code when prompted. Huddle is our presenting sponsor who makes these webinars possible. Huddle is the fastest growing video solution on the market, and coaches are using Huddle all over the country, including coaching staffs from the NFL down to the high school ranks. Huddle has the capability for coaches to access online from anywhere. They can create accounts for every player and coach. Huddle also has the fastest and easiest breakdown tools available, which include video analysis, highlights, recruiting, and film exchange. Huddle offers a 30-day trial with every account and offers a 10% first-year discount to Glacier Season Pass holders. To learn more, go to www.huddle.com or email them at sales@huddle.com. The staff season pass is only $349 and includes all of your coaches. That includes varsity, JV, middle school, and any feeder programs that you have as well. Glacier Clinic Online is included in that season pass, which offers over 50 instructional videos from Coach's Choice, over 1,000 sets of clinic notes, and over 200 of these archived webinars. If you're not a Glacier Season Pass holder and you're interested in trying out Glacier Clinic Online, email me, Aaron Coughlin, email address right here at the bottom left part of your screen, acoughlin@glacierfootballclinics.com, and I will get you set up with a 3 free-day trial if you'll just send me your name, school, or organization in your state. You can also go to glacierclinics.com, click the Glacier Clinic Online tab at the top, and there will be a link there that you can get signed up for the 3 free-day trial as well. The season pass also includes discounts from some of the top football vendors. Some of the vendors offering great discounts on their products and services are Huddle, Sport Decals, and Rogers Athletic. You can find the complete list at www.glacierclinics.com. Glacier Clinics is pleased to announce that Rogers Athletic is hosting the Power and Skill Football Coaches Clinic free to any Glacier Season Pass holder. Content will focus on sharpening football technique and building football strength. Mark your calendar for this event on May 4th at the Rogers headquarters in Clare, Michigan. Don't miss the opportunity to learn from expert coaches how to transform your team with winning football strength, speed training, and football technique coaching. View the speaker lineup and event information at rogersathletic.com/clinic. Like I said, any Glacier Season Pass holder, it is free. For anyone else, it is $30. Concussions are a scary reality in sports today. The average high school football player takes over 650 hits to the head every single season. The average lineman takes over 1,000. All of those subconcussive blows add up. Guardian caps absorb up to 33% of the impact in every hit. We know you need all your players in the game to have a winning season. An old adage says you can never be fully protected, just better protected. Over 8,000 Guardians were on the field in 2012 with coach endorsements from across the country. Visit GuardianCaps.com for new lower team pricing for the 2013 season. Since 1968, football coaches have been training drills on Rogers equipment to help teach player fundamentals while protecting their athletes by limiting the amount of live contact and giving them the confidence to practice with game day aggressiveness. Rogers understands that champions are made long before the games begin. By partnering with football coaches, Rogers has developed a revolutionary line of strength training equipment for off-season training that builds football strength. No wonder most serious football players train with Rogers Athletic. For more information, visit rogersathletic.com or call 800-457-5337. Coach's Choice is the place to go if you're looking for the best instructional books and DVDs. They have a full library of instructional material from many different categories. To access these videos, visit their website at www.coacheschoice.com. For the very best offensive, defensive, and special teams coaching systems out there, check out the free content link from Championship Coaching Systems at www.championshipsystems.com/free-preview. That link is right here towards the bottom of your screen. It's the proud home of the Noel Mazzoni spread offense system, the Bruce Cobley wing T hybrid system, Bill Clark's 3-4 total defensive program, the Pat Fox pressure 8-man front G defense, and so much more. For outstanding April pricing specials, call Jeff at 719-964-3284 or Nate at 719-964-2111. Alrighty, Coach. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hand control of the screen over to you here. Coaches, while Coach Kolakowski is getting everything ready to roll, I'll remind you we will be doing Q&A at the end of the session. There's a questions box on your webinar control panel. It's just labeled questions. If you expand that, there's a place to type in any questions that you have. We'll be saving those up, and we should be able to get to all of them at the end of the presentation. With that, Coach, I will go ahead and hand it right over to you.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. Greetings, guys, from Macon, Georgia. It was a great day down here. It was about 75. It was awesome. Before we get started with the actual clinic, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Mercer University, where we will be starting our football program this August 31st. It will be our first game since 1941. We will be a 1AA program. We will be in the Pioneer Conference, which consists of ourselves, Jacksonville University in Florida, Stetson, which is in Florida, also another startup program, Dayton in Ohio, Davidson, Campbell, Marist, New York. We have Morehead State in Kentucky. You have Drake out in Iowa, San Diego, Valparaiso, and Butler. So as you can see, we are a quite extensive conference around the country, going up the East Coast to the Midwest, even out into the far West. And we will be a 1AA program. Our program is it's a non-athletic scholarship program. So we give academic and need-based money for this first year in the conference, and with the East and West, our conference champion now will be able to get into the 1AA playoffs. Our head football coach is Bobby Lamb, who was a very successful head coach over at Furman University in South Carolina, and we're very, very excited about the opportunity, where we are, the location in Georgia, and being an upstart program. So that's just a little bit about us and where we're located. Now, through my presentation at the end, I will have the last screen will have my email address. So please, if there's any questions you think after the presentation, just email me. If you want to talk personally on the phone, just email me with your cell phone number or a number that I will be glad to reach out to you. And then also, if you want a copy of this presentation, email me with your address and things. So whatever y'all need, I'll be very, very accommodating for y'all, and whatever you need, I'll be great to help you with. Okay, so let's get started with the 3-4 package. Just a little bit of an overview. What we're going to talk about tonight is I'm not going to get into a lot of techniques. There's going to be certain techniques that we'll get involved in, but I'm going to really talk about just the overview of our package, show you our base blitzes and what we can do, and then plus at the end, the last half of it, we'll talk about the 3-deep fire zone coverage and the 2-deep 4-under coverage concepts and stuff. So it'll all be on our PowerPoint, and I'm going to hit the points that I feel like are very, very important. I think the first thing that I wanted to talk about was, why the 3-4, and what we're in and the fire zones. The first thing is in my career and my development, I truly believe in the fire zone package. Through experiences and working with other coaches around the country and just studying it, this has become part of our fabric and in my beliefs and in our football program. So we look at fire zones as part of our defense. We're going to fire zone people on the run game, and we're going to fire zone people on the pass game. So we're just not, fire zone, everybody thinks we're just going to do the pass game. No, we're going to do on the run game. Especially with our startup program, we don't have the biggest guys, so we're going to have to be able to kind of move folks, either slant the front, right or left, and then also be able to mix in these fire zones. So I think it's very important that you as a football staff believe in what you're doing so that you're able to convey that to your football team, and we really do. I think the 3-4, allows for some variety. Okay, you're able to bring that pressure from the field. You're able to bring that pressure from the boundary. You're able to bring that pressure from from the inside linebacker. So I think the variety is critical, and it just makes for keeping the offenses off balance. We package our pressures. We look at, as you look at the bottom of the sheet, we have outside and inside linebacker pressures. We have inside linebacker pressures. We also have outside and a safety pressures. So we kind of put them in all categories and set our package accordingly. So we like it, the variety of it, and what you're able to do with it. But now, on the other side, we try to keep it as simple as we can. All right, we're going to be able to blitz, and we want to keep the same terminology, of these base blitzes, and we're installing it to our whole defense so that if we're in base package, we can run the same blitzes. If we go to nickel, we're going to run the same blitzes. If we go to our dime package, we're going to go to the same blitzes. So that's very, very important, is that we're not trying to overload our players with a bunch of names and coverage techniques. We want to keep it one basic package, and everybody learns about it. We kind of have a group teaching, and I'm going to go over some of our philosophies and some of the things that how we present it to our football team. Also, running that 3-4, you're able to, what we call is have smart blitzes. You're able to attack different situations. You're able to attack where a tight end is. You can attack where the one back is. So that's the other reason that we do like the 3-4 Firezone package. And then finally, the last thing is why we like the 3-4, and we have built into our package here that we have both a 3 deep and 3 under pass, coverage concept, and a 2 deep and 4 under pass coverage concept married in with these pressures. And that just allows us the variety of, an offense doesn't always know that, okay, they're a Firezone team. Basically, you're going to get is a 3 deep, 3 under Firezone. Now, we're able to match up these Firezones and match up with a 3 deep or a 2 deep, which I will be able to show you. Now, going into, I think, which is the halfway, about third way down, what we must do. Okay, if you're going to be a Firezone football team and it's going to be part of your package, this is just like being a base defense. You're teaching your fundamental techniques of up front. You're playing a 3 technique, a 5 technique, a shade technique, and all the things that are incorporated in teaching. Or when you're coaching as a linebacker, your stance, your lineman keys. I think we believe that you have to teach these Firezone techniques just along with your base read and react techniques. It's very, very important. For example, here our front line, we are really striving and working, and our position coach is working on his proper steps, his pad level, his aiming points. It's very critical that your guys are understanding what you want out of this package. Okay, but it all starts, again, as we know, with fundamentals, stance and alignment and technique. So we continue with that with our Firezone. With your linebackers, it's very, very important that they understand their aiming points, especially if you're playing this versus the run. You've got to make sure that they're hitting their aiming points, they're hitting their gaps, so that everything gets fitted on out. When you miss a gap or a guy gets cut off, that's when you have problems in your defense. So it's important that they are taught where their aiming points are and drilled. Along with that, they've got to understand their pass rush lanes when they are in the pass rush. Set with the secondary, I think, again, you're teaching your blitz techniques and the coverage techniques. So all three, the front, the middle, and the back, all have got to be taught as a base part of your package, and we do that here, okay? Along with that, you're developing a blitz mentality, being able to play full speed and be able to adjust on the run, okay? And your kids have got to do that, all right? You also want to be able to disguise and develop your players and teach them, what you want to be, how you want to be. You want to show pressure one side, come from the other. But disguise, I think, is very, very important with that. Now, just a little bit of background on what we'll do. Coach Lamb has been very, gives us a great lot of latitude here. And I want to just kind of talk to you a little bit some of the things that we do here as far as developing a Firezone package. It starts with your, it starts in the classroom and your teaching and in your PowerPoint presentation. Now, let's get out onto the field. We are very, very big. We're always doing walkthroughs, okay? We're always doing walkthroughs, and we're doing on garbage cans. Now, we can do it in segments. We can have 2 sets of cans. We can have 5 at one part of the field and another 5 at the other part. And we can work it in segments, whereas 2 of our coaches can be working with our defensive line and our inside and outside linebackers, half of those guys, and really working on steps and aiming points on the blitzes and reviewing those things. Whereas another group of coaching, and myself and say another coach, we can have the other group, we can have the second team inside linebackers, outside linebackers, and secondary guys. Now we're working over our Firezone fits as far as the coverage aspect of it. So now you're getting double work. You get a 10-minute period. You can flip your linebackers and inside and outside linebackers and flip-flop. You can do that. I think is very, very important. Break it down, okay, in a very basic teaching. The other thing that we'll do with our barrels is we'll have 2 groups going, okay, 2 full defenses, and with 4 coaches, divide 2 at one end and 2 at the other, script it out versus formations, and just keep running the blitzes versus barrels. You can't get enough of that, okay? The more the kids understand it, understand their landmarks, understand their fits, understand where they're going to go. Then the second part is your individual drills and techniques. So each coach has their periods of individual. Got to work your Firezone techniques there. Got to be part of your dailies. Okay, got to be part of that. Some form, some way, you have to do that. Then, throughout our practice, we're going to work on group work versus the offense. We'll Firezone maybe 2 or 3 times on the inside drill. All right, because our guys, again, our linebackers have to understand fits. Our defensive line have to understand fits. And our hot to curl, and our 3 players have to understand where the thing is coming and where they have to fit. So we'll do that there. We'll do it against in Skelly. We might do half of the Skelly in zone coverage, the second half in Firezone coverage, but we're doing that some form, every day of doing that. And then, of course, in your team period. But we're practicing, Firezones every day. Some phase of is very, very important. As I stated earlier, we've kind of divided our packages in inside-outside pressures, inside pressures, and outside and safeties, and I'll show you that here in a second. So I'm going to go to the next page. Okay. Let's just start here with our basic our inside and outside linebacker package. Essentially what we're doing, okay, and again, how we name it, that's all up to you, but we are basically setting how we're getting the pressures run is first off we are setting the call and is coming from the field. So if the ball is in the hash mark, our linebackers are making a right and left call. So that's where we're establishing where this particular pressure will be coming from the field. As you can see, a smoke, which would equal our Sam and our Mike, is coming from the field. The ball goes in the middle of the field, then we go to passing strength. So as you look at the down below, you'll see a right call, right or left call, and rip or Liz. That's identifying where we're bringing the pressure. The right and left call, and the rip and Liz is where passing strength is. So that's where we set everything to the field or to the 2 receiver side. Now, with your teaching points. As I said, our defensive front, I have in the diagram here, as you can see here, I've got an E and a T. I've kind of set this up so that if you're an even front, you can see where the 3 technique would be, and then the E is where we are in our 3-4. We are all head up. We start head up. 0 is 0 technique, a 4 technique to both sides. So we're starting from a head up alignment in everything we do. Up front. Basically, our basic techniques that we talk about is our ends. We either have a long stick, okay, or a short stick. So our front is, and our defensive line talks about, okay, if an end, you're a long stick. They understand what that technique means. That means that essentially he's working 2 gaps over to the second man in. When you're a short stick, essentially you're working to the next man on over. With that short stick example here with our nose, we are reading the guard, okay? We call it button teeth. So when we're short sticking this nose, we're going to button teeth him. So if the butt shows to that nose, he's going to continue in that A gap. All right. If the teeth shows and he turns down to the nose to pin him, now our nose to work across that. So with a short stick, it's a button teeth technique. All right. With a long stick, our technique is just a flat step. With the inside foot, we want to keep our shoulder square, and we want to step and work for the the aiming point would be the center. Our end or our tackle would be a short stick here also. So whatever fire zone you have, you just talk in terms with your guys as far as short stick, long stick with our front. Okay, now, so you can see smoke. This is, as people call this, is the NCAA fire zone, the basic thing where we're bringing our Sam outside linebacker to the field. He is the D-gap player. Our end goes first. Our Mike goes second. Our nose is short sticking. Our end is short sticking. Our coverage concept is, with our 3 deep, you can see, is our corners are playing a deep third, and our free safety is a middle third. And now our underneath folks are the bandit is a hot to curl, the will is a 3-player, and the strong safety is a hot to curl. So I'll talk to you a little bit about what that means as far as hot to curl and 3-player and what that involves. But this is our basic starting point, day one fire zone. Coaching point here is if we do have a quick flare across the face, that outside linebacker, if that back crosses his face, he will take him and go in coverage. Some people don't worry about that. In our package, we do. That back flares across his face, he comes out and covers it. So we are attacking, we are attacking the strong side with the inside linebacker and the outside linebacker. So this is our smoke. Now, some of the adjustments that we do make here, okay, some of the adjustments that we do make. Any time that we have a trips formation, okay, a trips formation, that number 3 is displaced. You can see here you've got tight end trips and you have open end trips. On an open end trips, we will automatically make a swap call. So now the Mike becomes the 3-player and the Will becomes the blitzer. That's an automatic swap call with a number 3 displaced. With a number 3 grounded or tight, we run it. We don't have a problem with that. So that's really the only adjustment that we have in our fire zone in smoke 3 fuse. If we go to empty, we're fine. Okay, we're fine. Everybody just goes by their coverage concept rules. We don't worry about getting out of that. So really the only adjustment that we do have is our swap call built in day one with our football team. Now, as you can see, smoke is coming from the strong side, Sam and Mike. Now, from the weak side, we just call it Vegas, which would be the bandit and the Will. And exactly, we're going the opposite way. So you have smoke in Vegas. So our kids know smoke's coming from the field, and Vegas from the West Coast is coming from the weak side. So when I refer to either or, you'll know what that means. But it's exactly the same techniques as far as with the front. Now the end away from the right and left call. Okay, he becomes the long stick. The nose is a short stick, and the end is a short stick to the call. So that's our smoke and our basic 3 deep fire zone coverage. Now, some of our smoke patterns change ups which we like, and I think is great to attacking certain formations and attacking the offense. Our first change right now is what we call a smoke switch. All right. Essentially, what we're doing is we're changing our patterns. Okay, we're changing our patterns. All right. For the nose, the same. Okay, the end is not. I just didn't put it in there. I just wanted to focus on this size. For the end, it's exactly the same. But right here, the change up now, instead of the end going down and be your A gap player, your Mike will become your A gap player. Your end now steps out and up the field, and your Sam linebacker now becomes your B gap blitzer. Now the coaching point here. All right, the coaching point that we like to use with our end and our Sam linebacker. With this blitz, you want to have patience with the Sam. All right, and what we talk about with the Sam is essentially he wants to take the air out of that tackle. What is that tackle doing? If the tackle steps down and he's running a zone block away from him, well, the Sam wants to come right off his butt, come tight and flat, and he becomes the dive player. Strictly a dive player here in the gun series. So it's take the air out of the tackle. We don't want it up the field. Our aiming point is the neck of the tackle, and now if he disappears, we're coming right off his butt. Now, if the tackle shows and the end is up the field, we will come underneath it. So the coaching point here that we use with the Sam, as I like to call, is take the air out of the tackle. So that's the adjustment. That's our first change up on smoke. So we'd have a smoke switch. Vegas switch would essentially be exactly the same thing from the weak side. Next one is we call a smoke cross. Okay, Sam linebacker is doing exactly like he does in the smoke. Okay, D-gap, blitzer outside. Now we're changing up who goes first and who goes second here between the end and the mic. The mic now walks up, sugars up, and he goes first. He becomes the B-gap blitzer here. The end now, just a time step, a short time step to the outside, and now he comes back and he long sticks into the A-gap. Just a different way of running this blitz here, the smoke up here. It's just who's going first. So these are really our three basic calls, our three ways that we can run the smoke. Now, I wanted to show you also, and the 3-4 allows you to do this, because always that when you're the Firezone team and you're always long sticking, you're in short sticking with your nose, and your end is short sticking to the outside. We like to, at times, change up what's happening back over here. So we'll call a smoke with an X. So all that happens here to the front side is exactly the same. Okay, so you can run smoke cross with an X. You can run smoke switch with an X. It doesn't change what you're doing here, but it changes here. Now, that end now attacks down through the guard. He's going through the B gap to the A gap, and the end, the nose is engaging the center, and he loops to the outside. He's looping out to the tackle. Use this more in a passing situation as a changeup, but again, a different way to show the offense. And now you're getting some different look to the backside with some pressure coming to the front side. So essentially, this is our first basic way that we like to bring with our inside and outside linebacker pressure. Now, just to finish with this, and this is, I think, the great part about the 3-4 defense. We want to be able to attack certain formations. So we can call smoke auto, smoke switch auto, okay, or smoke auto, excuse me, just a smoke auto. So now we're telling these guys it's all based off of your formation. If you have an open end side to you, to the call side, we want to run switch. We like switch to an open end side. If you get a tight end side here, don't like switch as much. So now it becomes smoke. So it's a simple call. You're telling your guys smoke auto, guys. You got a tight end to the right and left call, smoke it. If it's an open end, you want to switch it. So again, that's a way that you can attack an offense and with the same blitz, but you're changing up the patterns. Very, 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 very big part of our game plan. Also, you're able to also with the 3-4, we call smoke check Vegas. And if you're playing a lot of 10 personnel spread teams, you might want to be attacking where that one back is. So if he's to the right here, you're checking smoke. Okay, if he's to the left and he's away from the right and left call, you might run Vegas. Or you might want to go, you call smoke switch, check Vegas switch. Doesn't matter. But again, it's a way out of the 3-4, which we like, the flexibility of attacking the back from either side. So those are two what we call smart blitzes in the way that we can attack the offense. All right, now what I'd like to go to is our bullets package, okay? Our bullets, which is essentially our inside linebacker pressures, okay? Bullets equals our backers. Now, up front, essentially here for the end, the nose, to him short stick, to the end short stick, Okay, our first call is wrap. Okay, we're going to go bullets wrap. So now the Mike linebacker aiming point is the hip of the center. This is critical. Okay, some people that you don't want to use the guard. You need the hip of that center. Okay, get him aiming point here so that he's an A-gap player. You're bringing your Will behind, and he's the B-gap player. Okay, so that's the big coaching point I can say here is that we are the Mike is first, hitting that center A gap, not getting cut off if you're facing a zone team. Say if it's zone going to our left, defensive left, he cannot be behind that guard. He's got to be hitting that thing, hitting that center's hip, so that his head and hat is in the A gap with the back wrapping around. Now, some teams back over here for the Will linebacker, if you get full flow away to the Will side, he reads on out. Okay, he'll read out. What that means is he'll start, he sees his full flow, not continued in that thing on run, and come back out and go inside out on the football. Now, as you can see in our coverage aspect of it, still, it's a 9. So usually, as you can see, 3 and 9 are our 3 deep coverage. But it's essentially telling who's coming down. So right now, our corners are playing the third. Our strong safety is the middle third. Our free safety now knows that he is the 3 player, and both outside backers, our Sam and Bandit, are our hot to curl players. So here, there's really no adjustments as far as any 2x2, 3x1s, empties. We're going to run it. Okay, so this is bullets wrap. Okay, bullets strong. Okay, bullets strong. Again, package where we're running this to the right and left call, to the strength, to the end, the nose and the end. It's essentially the same as bullets wrap. Changing pattern here. All we're doing now, the Mike is taking his B gap, okay, and now the Will is working over the top A gap. But again, he's button teeth in this thing. He's reading that guard. What is that guard doing? If that guard's teeth is coming at him, he's going to work across his face. If the butt is to the Will, he's going to take the A gap and attack it. So really, the Will is a button teeth guy reading on the guard. Mike is a blow blitzer right up into the B gap here. Nothing changes as far as the pass concept here with your Sam, your Bandit, and your free safety. So second pattern out of our bullets package. So we've got bullets wrap. Now we go bullets strong. All right, last part, last adjustment, last one we have is our bullets cross. Again, I like the bullets series. I like bullets cross to passing. I like the bullets wrap to the run. This is a good blitz for us. Our kids like this, and again, if they're hitting their gaps, excuse me, I apologize. They're hitting their gaps. I think it's great. These guys, as you'll find out when in our Firezone, especially the Bandit, and the way that we teach our hot to curl, he's a valuable part in the run action, especially the runaway in the fold. He is a guy that's unaccounted for. So in your teaching, that's why they have to understand what's happening to them when they're hot to curl, the Sam hot to curl, and the free safety understanding his fits. And he's got to understand where the pressure is coming from. But again, our bullets cross happens here. Our end, same with all the bullets package, short stick, short stick. Now our nose is long sticking to the B gap. Okay, he's going to long stick to the B gap. Mike is first. Okay, working the hip, the far hip of the center. The Will is working the far hip of the center, but the Mike is first, and the Will comes second. Again, like this. Again, I like this versus in the passing situation. So this is our bullets package. So you've got wrap, you got strong, and you got cross. Now, what we're able to do here is we can another smart blitz, just to put in your thought process, guys, is we call it Bob wrap, Bob strong. What Bob means is we're going to bullets to the back. Bob, bullets to the back. So if you want to go Bob wrap to the back, then you're telling your guys where you want the wrap to go to. You want to attack that back, that's where you go to. So it could be it goes your communication is you got to make the Ringo Lucky to tell your front which way the blitz is going. But again, a different way of attacking the offense by attacking where the one back is. We like this. So again, I've given you another what we call a smart blitz with our package. So that's our bullets package. So we've gone with an inside linebacker, outside linebacker, smoke. Here's our bullets package. Okay. Now, next one is our outside linebacker and our safety. Okay, we call them strong. In our first part of our installation of our package, we played left and right, but this is essentially the strong safety. Okay, I like this pressure. Okay, I like this pressure. I think this is a great pressure to 21 personnel. It's good against 20 personnel. It's good against 11 personnel. It's good against 12 personnel. I know I've got it drawn up against 10. I don't like it as much just because of the speed and what we're doing in the coverage aspect of it. So, but I like this pressure, okay? And the coaching points here, okay? The coaching points here with the pressure. We are with Sting. Now this is our first 4 underneath, 2 deep coverage. We do not play a Firezone 3 deep with Sting. This is a 4 underneath, 2 deep coverage, special. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a second. But up front, okay, up front, for the end, the nose, and the end, it's exactly the same as a smoke. So the end to the call side's a long stick. The nose is a short stick, reading button teeth. The end is a short stick. All right? The Sam linebacker. The Sam linebacker, again, critical here. He is like a switch. He is taking the air out of the tackle. Critical with that. He's got to take the air out of that tackle. Tackle down, off his butt. Tackle reaching, coming underneath him. Tackle pass sets, coming underneath him. He knows he has a friend, an angel coming from the outside. So he's your dive player. Our strong safety now comes from the outside, and he's your quarterback player. So if you're getting option, you're playing a 2 deep with a trap corner, he's your pitch man. So in the gun series, Sam becomes your dive chase player, and your safety becomes your quarterback player. And if it's option built in with this, now you have the pitch to the call side to the field with your trap corner. But if you get a tight end formation here, as you see here, we put that Sam linebacker now. This is a little not the right way. You want to be in a 9 technique here. And what we teach our kids here is you start in a tight 9, get to a 6. Now, what they're doing is they're taking a flat step, working through the hip, through the via the neck of the tackle. Same thing. Tackle disappears, coming off his butt. Tackle reaches, I'm coming underneath it and become a B-gap player. And our strong safety comes outside of the tight end. So we put him up on the line of scrimmage, make it look like a 9, tighten it down, and flat step down and inside and work off the tackle here. Now, some coaching points here. I think it's critical that you understand with your Mike and your Will linebackers here. Okay? Critical that they put themselves, they're put themselves to where their pass coverage responsibilities first. They got to understand what's happening here. This whole front is moved, for that Mike, this whole front is moving away from him. We're bringing everybody from the field away from him. So we will bring him, if he's got a number 2 displaced, we will work him to a head up that tackle of 40 alignment. Excuse me. We will adjust. We will boss and bow our linebackers here according to the formation. They are not based in their 30. With that Mike, we key him through the guard. If the guard pulls, he knows that he can work to the inside. If the guard does anything else, he's going to be a slow backside player. He's going to let everything, if it cuts back, he's going to be your cutback player here. The Will's got to understand what is happening to him. So he's got his responsibility will be his number 2. Again, widen out. So the Mike and Will, their alignments will be based off of their formation. So the Mike here, 3x1, should be bossed more because he is responsible. He's going to wall 2. He's got to be bossing here along with your Will. So these pictures are really not showing where the proper thing or proper alignment. So if you're going to make a coaching point here, guys, it's got to be make your linebackers bossing and bowing according to their past responsibilities. Okay? Now, the only thing that we do here in Sting, all right, again, versus an empty set, we will check out of this. We will hold the safety, and it becomes really a 4-man pressure and end up in a zone 3 deep fire zone. So we get out of this thing. If they go empty, we're getting out of it. Get a base Sam linebacker blitz and a 3 deep 4 underneath coverage right there. So that's really the only adjustment. Okay, coverage-wise, as you can see, we like this again. The trap, and I'll go over the 2 deep here, but it's a 4 underneath, 2 deep coverage, getting strong run. Boy, you got it coming. And again, you're getting this front collapsing, and you can make a lot of stuff happening. Also, run game, if you're getting the power stuff with the safety, we like to spill the ball. Get that ball bounce outside because of what the Mike is doing. We're going to bring the ball to the Mike, who's going to push it to the trap corner. So this is, like I said, this is one of my favorite blitzes, and I like running this thing, you know, on rundown situations. So really, guys, there's our kind of our base package as far as our smoke, Vegas, bullets, and our Sting. So I'll kind of give you an overview of our, you know, of our blitzes. Now, talking a little bit about our coverage aspect of it. Okay, our coverage. As you can see, you saw our 3 fuse, 9 fuse, 9 flame, which is essentially a 3 deep, 3 under. Our corners and safety, depending on which safety is in the middle third, basically the corners are playing their divider thirds, the safety's playing his divider. Okay, so that's, you know, if you get 2 in their zone, he's got to midpoint that thing and play between the 2 of them. So that's a basic, you know, 3 deep coverage here. Now, and I like the Firezone, and I think, you know, when we talk to our kids, we say, okay, who's the hot to curl player on number 2? So again, the numbering system is very simple. You start from outside, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. So hot to curl means anybody, and again, we're teaching this same technique for everybody. So if a strong safety is a hot to curl, he's going to learn all these 3 terms. The Sam linebacker, if he's hot to curl, he's going to learn and understand these 3 terms. Same thing with your inside linebackers. So we teach it all as a group, and each coach is talking about it. So when I'm a hot to curl player, hot to curl on number 2, basically the 3 words that those young men have to know is they got to know what match means, what carry means, and what deliver means. That's their technique. That's going to take them to their responsibility. Excuse me. Our match responsibility. That means that any time that number 2 goes to the flat, okay, whoever that hot to curl player is, he's going to match him right now. He's going to match him right now to the flat, working over the, not jump him. He's just going to work from depth and play over the top. So if the Sam is the hot to curl, going to work over the top. If the safety and smoke is the hot to curl, but he's going to work to the outside and match him to the flat. Same thing over here. Whoever it is matches him to the flat. Take number 2 to the flat. Key coaching point. Now, any type of vertical by number 2, we use the term carry. Okay, we're going to carry him. Now, some people in some defenses that use this terminology, they'll carry that vertical all the way. What we do here, okay, is we're going to carry it, but we're going to carry it maybe 10 to 12 yards. But I'm going to put a but after that. That hot to curl player has to have awareness of what number 3 is doing. If number 3 is away from him, we're going to give him more leeway, and he can carry that number 2 a little bit farther. If the 3 is to him, Then he's going to be start reading. The reading is number 2 and feeling what number 3 is doing. But again, carry means you're working to his inside hip. You must have awareness of number 3, okay? And now you're going to carry him and staying inside, carrying him, still vision back on the quarterback. That's the technique we like to use. It's still zone coverage, guys. You don't want to turn your back to the guy. You don't want to turn your back to the quarterback. You want to collision it, shoulder square, but body position is critical here when you're teaching this thing and giving ground, inching. It's not a man-to-man technique. It's inching and catching and carrying it. The strong safety, we like him. He'll start maybe at 10 yards. We'll drop him down to maybe 2 steps down. We like him playing with depth so that he can see things. That's the key. You don't want him dropping all the way down to 5 yards. Okay, can't do that. Got to play from depth. So we're going to carry any vertical. When number 2 goes under, we use the term deliver. Okay, we're going to deliver. We're going to deliver that number 2 till we are threatened by a number 3. Okay, we're delivering him over. We're not jumping him man to man. We're over the top. Okay, we're over the top and feeling and understanding where 3 is. If 2's under, delivering him. 3 automatically comes back on out. Guess what? He becomes my new number 2. So now I come back out on my new number 2, and the mic picks up the new 3. So this is critical. We do not hear if number 2 goes underneath that we push out and help the corners. These guys understand they're on an island. They're on the island. We're expecting whoever the hot to curl on each side and the 3 player to be working and fitting and matching the underneath routes here. Very, very critical here. All right. The one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to get out leveraged. Okay. You don't want to be flying inside on that number 2. So key awareness, guys, is teaching when you're in this hot to curl. You've got to understand where your 3 player is. Okay. Got to understand that. Okay, a 3 player, okay? Basically, he's got 2 terms. He's either carrying the number 3 or delivering it, okay? He's going to deliver him to somebody, or he's going to carry it, okay? The 3 player drops off of where number 3 is, okay? Here in this formation, it's number 1, 2, 3. We're working off of him. Over here, if it's the Mike or the Will, there's your 3 player, 1, 2, 3. It's not always the back. It's the formation. Where is your immediate 3 player? And we're working off of him. Okay, again, technique, you want to stay inside out, and you want to push him to the hot to curl player. On any type of vertical, okay, on any type of vertical, you'll carry him 10 to 12. That's it. That's it. You got a deep 3rd player behind you. We're not interested in running on that. So you're just going to carry him 10 to 12 yards. If your 3 goes out and your 2 is up the field and your 2 player is not in a position to come off, well, then you're just going to keep delivering that number 3 to the flat. Going to stay on top of him with depth. Just keep matching him. Going to keep delivering him to the flat. All right. Now, what we're able to do here is, you can see we have what we call alert switch. So if formations dictate that if it's between the strong safety and the Mike, the strong safety and the Will, the Sam and the Will, whoever it might be, alert switch means that a number 2 and a number 3 are in a position that they're able to switch very quickly. So now that'll put the hot to curl player on the outside edge, and he'll be reading the first thing to the threat becomes his new number 2. So again, alert switch is your coaching point. So to go over, when you're a hot to curl player, you got match, carry, deliver. That's the 3 terms that we teach everybody. And then when you're a 3 player, you're carrying or delivering. And this is where you spend time with it. And as you look at the passing game, you're able to cover it all out once your kids understand it. And it's not complicated. You just have to spend some time with it. And it's our guys here did a good job with it, and it took them a couple of weeks, but they got it figured out. And the more reps you do, the better off that you'll be. Okay, I wanted to talk to you with our four underneath, two deep concepts. Now, the way we have built our package, we are able to run some type of form of four underneath, two deep coverage to our outside linebacker, inside linebacker smoke stunt to the field. We're able to call that, which is jump coverage. Okay. When we go to our bullets, which you'll see, we have the ability to run a four underneath, two deep, which will be our jack coverage. Okay. And also we have in Vegas, we have the ability to run a four underneath, two deep. Okay. We just call it jerk coverage. So all the J words are basically four underneath, two deep. Now, let's just talk about kind of the coverage concepts here. All right, essentially for jump, jack, and when we go to special on the sting, let's start to the backside here. For our outside linebacker, his essential drop is he is working to the outside shoulder of number one. Okay, he's got to take the out. He's the flat player. His drop is, his aiming point is he's getting to the outside shoulder, a depth of 6 yards. At 6, he's going to flip his hips and sink back and read the quarterback. But he's got to take the out cut. Okay, he's got to get to the outside. All right, because of what we're asking this corner to do. He is basically being a cheat half. Okay, he is going to go to a half field. He is working away from this number one. So this corner has got to protect that out cut, and we call it the out of one. The corner, the backside corner away from the rolled up side. He's a cheat half. Critical coaching point, playing with depth. He's got to understand formations. Is it a 2x2 formation? Is it a 3x1 formation? If it's a 2x2, he's got to get depth. And his depth, I mean at the snap of the ball, he's got to be a good 10, 11 yards deep, okay, midpointing between 1 and 2. Got to play with depth. Got to play with depth. If you've got a 3x1 set, that corner's got to understand he's got to get inside and he's got to read 1 to 3. Okay, he cannot get isolated strictly to the single receiver side because it's a 2 deep, 4 underneath coverage. So critical coaching points here: depth and understanding your formation. That's the key here. If you got depth and understanding that, you'll have a chance to have guys over the top. Now in jump coverage, this is a skate half field. You can see we're disguising our 4 deep. Again, we're working to a depth of where cover 2 would be. 14 yards, he's skating, he's getting depth. Again, his eyes, once the ball snapped, he's reading 1 to 2. Got to read 1 to 2. Got to. Playing with depth. Don't worry about what's happening in the backfield. We're bringing pressure. We got 4 underneath, 2 deep. Key is depth for your half field. Over here to the corner, we like to play a trap corner. Some people play a hard corner here. Outside leverage. We like the trap corner. Okay, but we play with a depth. We'll play it at 7 yards. At the snap of the ball, we're going to work inside to 2 yards inside. Reading number 2, run or pass. Okay, we don't want to be a 5. We want to play with a little bit of depth. So we're going to trap it. Some people will play the hard corner at 7, a little bit softer, but play outside leverage. Your choice. Your choice. Okay, now the critical points here. Okay, the critical. When you're a wall 2 to the strong side and a wall 2 weak, 3 strong. Key right here, guys. Key right here, as you can see right here. Will and strong. Use the wall technique. You must run with your guys vertical and inside. So if he's running vertical, you inside leverage and you run with him. If he goes underneath, you're delivering him over the top. You got to run and squeeze it. Okay, you got to run and squeeze it. Key coaching point right here is you cannot let your guy get inside of you. If I am the wall 2 here, I cannot allow that H-back to get down the middle of the field. I've got to disrupt it, play it with depth, and he's got to go outside. Same thing from the will. So now the will is a 2 weak or 3 strong in jump coverage. So that's our basic 4 underneath, 2 deep coverage out of smoke. Okay, our jack coverage now is our bullets package. Same concept. For the bandit, exactly the same. For the corner away from the rip and Liz call, exactly the same. All right, the corner to the field, exactly the same as jump. You're playing trap. Now what changes is who is your wall 2 strong, wall 2 weak, And who's your half? So we change it up. So now the strong safety now becomes your half field player. Your Sam becomes your wall 2, and your free safety or left safety becomes your wall 2 weak or wall 3 strong. So there's your changeup, is right here. Who's your half? Who's your wall technique? But here it's exactly the same. Here is exactly the same. Here is exactly the same. Okay? Checks. Has in jump and jack. If they go to empty, we're going to get into 9 flame. We're going to go to 3 deep. We are not playing 2 deep fire zone to any empty sets. Okay? And then our last fire zone, okay, is our sting, and kind of went over that. Okay? Here. So now our bandit, exactly the same as jump and jack, out of 1. Corner, exactly the same as jump and jack, inverted half. Left safety, free safety, it's sting and jump are exactly the same. Field corner, exactly the same. Trap coverage. Now, who are your wall 2 strong and 2 weak, 3 strong? It becomes your inside linebackers. But it's the same techniques here, 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 and here, as in jump and jack with special. So that's just a kind of an overview, guys, of our 3 deep, 3 under, 2 deep, 4 under. So and then let me put up my last slide here, and then kind of turn it back to Aaron. If anybody has any questions, feel free to talk. Let's talk, and I can hopefully help with any type of questions. Okay, again, you can see my email is Kolakowski _MA@mercer.edu. Okay, you want to learn a little bit more, you high school coaches, about our program, then you can go to www.beardownmu.com. Okay, Aaron?
All righty. Thank you very much, Coach. Great presentation here. Coach, as you can see, he's got his email up there on the screen, so any questions we don't get to tonight, or if anything comes up later, we can can go ahead and contact Coach. We'll jump right into questions here. Coaches, looks like we have about just 2 questions in so far. So if you do have any questions, go ahead and get those submitted as soon as possible, so that we don't skip over anything once we wrap it up or miss it or anything like that. So, Coach, first question here: when you run your sting blitz, is the safety coming from depth, or does he walk down?
He walks down. I'm going to go back to that. Yeah, what we like to do is we like to put, especially with our 3-4 defense, we like to disguise, put the Sam down like we're playing with our boundary call, where he's down and he's in the rush. So we'll start it at depth. He'll play at 5 yards. He starts at 10, walks it down to 5, and then goes. But we'll start at depth in the disguise factor.
Alrighty, perfect. Can you quick repeat the reaction you want to a butt teeth?
Okay. All right. Essentially what we're talking about, let's just, let me go back to our bullet strong. Okay. If with our short stick, with our button teeth, and our will linebacker button teeth, essentially what you're doing, guys, is if the guard and his head goes away from you and the butt comes to you, you're going to go right inside that butt. Okay, so essentially that guard is protecting the B gap here, or he's stepping to the B gap here. Same thing with the nose. If the guard goes away, well, we want that nose to come right off and get up the field and attack his butt. Now, if the guard is coming down to the nose or coming to the will linebacker, now we want to cross that face of that guard and cross the face of the guard and work outside. So that's what we mean by the technique of button teeth.
Alrighty, perfect. Coaches, just so y'all know, we have 2 other questions submitted so far. So again, there's a questions tab there on the webinar control panel. Any questions you have, go ahead and type them in there, and I'll get them immediately here, and we'll get Coach to answer them. Coach, in your base defense, what do you have your linebackers read?
Okay, essentially what we're doing with our inside linebackers, they're keying back, okay, to get their start key, and then we're going down. We're keying linemen to get our secondary key. So it's kind of the back gives us our start key, and then our eyes go down and work off of the offensive lineman. All right, so it's start key at the back, give us a direction, give me a step, and then our eyes got to read the offensive lineman.
Okay, perfect. Coaches, I'm about to go into the last question here. So, again, submit any questions you have now, so we don't skip anything over once we finish up here. Coach, do you play any quarter, half coverages out of your fronts?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. In our field defense, okay, so essentially what we're saying in field defense where we're bringing the front to the field, we will play quarter, half. Okay, we'll play quarters to the front side here, and in our terms we'll play the soft 2 over here. We're reading here, and then we'll play a true cloud back over here. Yes, I like cover 6. Okay, I like what we call cover 6. Yes, we do play quarters, quarter, half. We'll play quarters, and we'll play 2 deep out of our even front coverages.
Alrighty, perfect. Got another question submitted here. Does motion affect any of your stunts? Doubles,
No.
number 2 motion.
No, it's just all will happen is what happens is we won't change the blitz. It just depends on now if they're going to motion back over here. Okay, now this bandit knows the hot to curl player becomes the new motion guy here. All right, so it all depends on it affects the coverage aspect of it. It doesn't affect what the pressure does.
Alrighty, perfect. Just got another one. Do you call any fire zones with man coverage?
Have not. Can do it, but have not.
Is there any particular reason for that?
No, I don't know. It's you could probably end up with could be with a man-free concept out of that stuff and still doing your bullets and stuff. But I just have not done that. We've got if we're playing man-to-man coverage, then we're going to bring 6, bring 7, and really kind of heat it on up. Okay, but you can build into your man-free package out of your bullets, out of your smoke, out of your Vegas. It's very easy. We just have not done that.
Alrighty, perfect. Coach, it looks like that's going to be it for the questions here. Well, we kind of wrap it up. You mind putting up that last slide with your contact information again?
Yes, sir. Oops.
Coaches, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here, so I'll give it another 15, 20 seconds.
Guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And if there's any questions, please just email me. You want to talk on the phone, talk football, I'll get you this presentation. I got no secrets and stuff and be able to talk to you about the techniques. But again, thank you very much, guys.
All righty, and thank you, Coach, very much for giving us your time and sharing with us tonight. Coaches, we have our next webinar coming up on Tuesday. That is April the 30th. We have Coach Brian Spilbuller. He's the offensive coordinator from Carmel High School in Indiana. We don't have an exact topic for him, but it will be an offensive topic, so be on the lookout. Probably tomorrow our May schedule will go up, and so that April 30th webinar we're kind of grouping with the May schedule. So tomorrow and possibly over the weekend, but probably tomorrow we'll have that schedule up on glazierclinics.com. So we hope to see everyone at that webinar. Coach, thank you very much again for
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it.
And you have my cell phone number or email, whatever. If you ever need anything or any questions, anything like that, don't hesitate to get in contact.
Great. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And coaches, thank you again for attending tonight. We hope you all have a good night, and we go watch a little bit of that NFL draft. Just started a couple minutes ago. So again, Coach Kolakowski, thank you. We're good to go, and we just hope everybody has a good night.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great night.
Okay.